A warm welcome back to my channel, where in this video I'll be talking about a review of my first ever triathlon event. Yes, let's go. But before we go into the detail of my trilogy of amazing events that I took part in, just a few housekeeping, shall we say. So if you are new here, subscribe, click on the links below, give it a thumbs up if you find this really useful. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you all so much. So yes, let's dive right into the event of my first ever triathlon. So yes, guys, triathlon is, yes, 3 events, as the word tri. So I'm going to be producing 3 videos, rather than one massive long one. I thought I'd do 3 bite-sized videos to talk about the actual event itself, which will be this video. And then I'll be doing a review of the actual kit that I had, and also a review of the nutrition that I followed throughout the event. So that'll be the 3, but swiftly going on to this 3. So yes, oh my. Yes, it was my first ever triathlon, and what an event to pick. It was organised by Evolve Endurance, sometimes known as the Blue Lagooners, over in North Yorkshire, which is where the location was, and the village of Womersley, I think it was pronounced. Apologies if I've mispronounced it. But yes, out in North Yorkshire. And there was a number of reasons why I chose that particular event, one of which is that I have some friends that live nearby. Whilst Womersley is in North Yorkshire, I had some friends local in West Yorkshire, and the plan was to go up, see them, stay there, and then hop over. I think it was about a 45-minute drive to get to the event. Unfortunately, a week before the event, my friends had a local lockdown. What's been happening here in the UK, and maybe where you are in your country, there's been some local lockdown. So I couldn't go and stay with them. So I ended up having to book a local hotel and stay nearby. So yeah, added cost, bit more stress and all that kind of stuff. And I was already getting stressed with all sorts of things. But that was in terms of the logistics of staying there. So getting to the event was pretty straightforward for me. In the morning, woke up nice and early, and in the morning I got up and it was drizzly and windy, and I was getting all sorts of stresses and anxieties and worrying, oh, have I done enough, have I this, because I signed up for the event at the beginning of July, so I literally had 6 weeks of preparation training for that actual event. So not the best of scenarios, but I thought I wanted to give it a go and do my best, as you do. So that was the morning. I had everything in my van. As you may have seen, I had a van there, and that's my transportation. So the bike was on the bike rack at the back, and that was all very convenient. Got to the event, and the logistics there was absolutely brilliant. Whilst it took a while to go through the check-in and all the checks for COVID, where I had the temperature checked, and also getting the registration documents, which was all done via the in my vehicle. So there's lots of social distancing. We had our masks on. Once I got there, it was a case of just prepping, getting the bike, and having it on the right rack. So I had my number. I was number 19. 19. Get the bike on the rack, and I had all my gear and everything ready to go. Got changed in the van, and yes, ready to go. Oh, so I thought, but it's raining, it was windy, I had a wetsuit on, and I was getting pretty chilly. But it is what it is. It was what it was. And off we went with the first part. As you know, it's the swim. And for me, I haven't done much open water swimming. I think I'd literally started 3 weeks before, of going to London local docks here and doing some open water swimming. And so for me, the distance, the swim, was a 2-kilometre swim. So whilst the event wasn't officially a half Ironman, because as I may have mentioned a number of times, Ironman is a particular brand. This is organised by Evolve Endurance. They called it a half triathlon. It was a little longer. My understanding is a 70.3 Ironman is 1.9 kilometres. This was a 2-kilometre swim. So 2 laps around the Blue Lagoon. And I came out in a time of 46 minutes and 38 seconds. Not the fastest by a long shot, but I knew once I got out of that, then came the challenge of getting out. And for me, maybe it's my age or my disposition. I have to stress that, you know, being from a Mediterranean background, I do tend to feel the chill more. So I immediately needed the toilet. So I went to the Portaloo with my wetsuit on. Obviously, half took the wetsuit off, toilet. I know, detail, but this is a review of the video, so I'm going to give you all the detail, yeah? Not the minuscule of details, but get into the detail. And then I got the wetsuit off at my transition area, and I had, as you may have seen, I had my, Co-op bag and M&S bag. So one had the running gear, one had the cycling gear. So I then proceeded to get changed out of my wetsuit in the rain and wind, and I got a bit chilly. So I was getting my cycling gear on, and I put a waterproof on top as well, or wind factor type thing, helmet, and off I went on the bike ride. And the bike ride itself, the distance, it was 2 loops, and the whole distance was 94 kilometers, and that took me 3 hours, 17 minutes and 1 second. So I was really, really pleased with that, because on various dry runs I was on, whilst it wasn't in race conditions, time trial conditions, I was doing distances of around 80, 83 kilometers, 82 kilometers in that time. So I managed to do a massive amount more, and I was really pleased with that, considering I hadn't done much specific cycling training either. So I get into transition 2. By the way, transition 1. Did I tell you the time of transition 1? Yeah, oh man, it was 8 minutes and 56 seconds. So I had nearly 9 minutes in transition. But as I said, it had the toilet stop, changing, putting lots of gear on, dressing into my cycling gear. So, and the gloves and winter socks and all sorts. But I say, I'll do the kit review so you can see what kit I was wearing. But that was transition 1. Transition 2 was markedly faster. And because I literally just stripped off all my cycling gear, put a running vest on, running shoes on, and then quickly jumped to the Portaloo again. Yes, I needed the toilet yet again, despite going numerous times whilst on the bike. And that transition time of T2 was remarkably faster, 5 minutes and 22 seconds. Fantastic, eh? Yeah, I was getting quicker, so I'm getting more experience. Bearing in mind, I've not done any of this. I haven't done any transition training, no, nothing. Absolute novice, absolute beginner. And then I come to my run, and very, very hilly course and undulating, tough conditions. It was raining, dry at times, but raining, and came in with a fantastic time. It's a 20 kilometer distance, a fantastic time of 1 hour, 32 and 36 seconds. And it was the 3rd fastest run of all the competitors in the distance that I was running at. So absolutely over the moon. Bearing in mind, I think I was probably the oldest guy there by a long shot. And for those who are new to the channel, next birthday I'll be 60. That's right. Yes, I know, I don't look it. But oldest guy, 3rd fastest run, really pleased with that. And considering I'd already swam 2 kilometers, cycled 94 kilometers, and then ran a half marathon at the end of it, fantastic time, really pleased. Overcoming the jelly legs and all that types of feeling. So the total time that I had for that event was 5 hours, 50 minutes and 33 seconds, where I came in with a position of 22nd overall, and absolutely over the moon. As I said, the 3rd fastest run. As a whole, I feel, for me, it was a great confidence boost. I've got another event from that. I then booked for a marathon, which will be in October of this year, and the strength that I had when I finished that run, I felt super strong, super fit, and I was passing so many people during that run. It was an amazing confidence boost for me, showing that I do have the endurance. And for the run, a lot of people, some people, they won't publicly diss me or whatever, but I can see that they're not approving that most of my run training, and I'll go through that, and if you look through my videos, it's all about slow running. So to run that fast time, I'm the 3rd fastest runner there on that course of all the entrants that competed in the that half triathlon. And I'm just training with slow runs. That's building my endurance. And a lot of people say for half Ironman, full Ironman, slow and steady wins the race. And I just went on a steady pace. It was pretty consistent. I think the first 3 kilometers, I did go out like a bit of a bull in a china shop. So I was running at 4 minute kilometer pace for the first 3 kilometers. And then I started hitting the hills. and that sort of took it out of my legs, and I felt pain. I was feeling pain all over. But when I say pain, for me, it wasn't hurting pain. It was more of a discomfort. So, because if it was real pain, I would be stopping, wouldn't I? But so on the whole, absolutely pleased. And as I've said in the other videos, I can't thank enough the organisers, despite all the COVID-19 rules, regulations, that the event went ahead and I had a fantastic time. I wholly recommend these guys. You can look them up, Evolve Endurance, and they have so many triathlons of all different distances. And for me as a beginner, I wouldn't recommend doing this distance as a beginner, but I do have background of endurance training and having done marathons for the past 4 years. I felt enough confidence to do that particular distance. But if you're an absolute beginner, novice, and I'll probably do a video on that separate to this trilogy of videos about this event, of getting started in triathlon and maybe having a go and feeling that fear and doing it anyway. Because if you look at me when I'd done my first open water swim a year ago over in where was it, Dudley, in the reservoir there, it was terrifying for me, absolutely terrifying. And I think it's terrifying for a lot of people, but I overcame that and was able to swim. And there was over 200 competitors at this event, of the mix of the half triathlon and the quarter one. So the distances were different. So one was 1 lap, another one was 2 laps. So it was over 200 in this lake at one time. So fantastic. I loved it. I couldn't recommend it enough. And whilst the weather wasn't the best of weathers, I certainly enjoyed it and felt epic at the finish. So in summary, that's my review of the actual event. It's not just about the time. For me, it was all about finishing. As you've seen in the video, I talk a lot about just finishing. And I got to the finish time. The time is a bonus. The finishing time is a bonus. It was just actually doing it and feeling great. And I hope you found this useful in some way. And as I mentioned, there'll be 2 other videos where I'll be going through the kit review and also a separate one again on the nutrition and what I used on the course and route throughout the, in terms of the swim, cycle and run, because it's 3 different types of nutrition for those particular events. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate the time that you take watching this each and every way. If you did like it, as I said at the beginning, give it a thumbs up, found it useful, share with your friends, family, wherever they may be. And if you haven't already done so, please do click on the subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video. Thank you. Bye bye bye.